have a loved one with a substance abuse issue, one of the main things that you are going to be challenged with is all of the different ways in which they are being very manipulative and the reasons as to why they're being manipulative. So there's a few different reasons why someone even manipulates. And here's the thing. This is so ingrained at them. This started long before the drugs and alcohol were put into play. This happened from early on. So it is so ingrained in them, they don't even know when and how they do it anymore. It's just such an automatic response. But if we can focus in on that and really understand, one, their goals, two, kind of the emotions that they play on with us, and then three, what you can really do about it, you stand a better chance of being able to fight off these different styles of manipulations that people use. So the first thing is we want to go into the goals of the manipulator. So one of the goals is they simply want to avoid confrontation. They don't want to be confronted about their stuff. They don't want to face themselves. They don't want to do that. So they're going to avoid that at any cost. So the other one is to make you react and make you defensive, to make you look like the bad guy. So if you get all crazy, you react and all of that stuff, and they will intentionally poke at you until you react in a not a good or healthy way. And they know how to do this. They're very good at knowing what buttons to push to make you react and make you look like the bad guy. Another goal is basically to make you doubt yourself and your perceptions. What this does is even when you confront them, then you're going to at some point start doubting yourself and you're going to back away. So they're very good at making you doubt yourself. And so one thing that you can do is to be very confident in yourself. And sometimes that takes some work. Another thing that the reasons why they manipulate is they just simply want to hide their intent, their aggressive intent. Maybe they plan on stealing from you. Maybe they're just straight lying to you. Whatever their intention is, they just want to hide that kind of stuff from you. Another goal is to avoid their responsibility. You've seen this. I know that you have, because this is something that most of the time when you have people in substance abuse issues, they're avoiding responsibility like crazy. I know that when I was going through my stuff, this was a big thing for me, was not taking responsibility for my own life, constantly blaming people. And it was like, well, if I take responsibility, then I have to actually do something about it and change, which is the next and final goal that I'm going to talk about, which is they do this so that they don't have to change. Change, one, is scary. Whatever their reasons are, generally, come on, let's be honest. We don't like to change, and it's uncomfortable. It's scary. It's all of these things. And they get so good at wanting things to be consistent or just go on the way they are, even if it's destructive, even if they know they can't continue to do it, they just don't want to change. And there are basically 4 pillars of emotions that people will use to play on to make these things easier. So all of their goals and the reasons why they choose, these are the emotions that they play on in order to distract you, in order to not have you be confronted, in order to doubt yourself. And that is resentment, guilt, shame, and fear. Those are 4 pillars of your emotions that they very much use against you. And there's so much when it comes into resentment and guilt and shame and fear, and how they can basically do whatever they want as long as they know how to touch those in you. And resentment isn't always necessarily with them specifically. They just know some of the things that you resent or what gets you kind of going. And as soon as you get into that resentment, it distracts you from focusing on them. And that's one of the things. Either avoid responsibility, to doubt yourself, or to make you react and look like a bad guy. And maybe they're trying to avoid confrontation by using your resentments against you. And again, it doesn't have to be the resentments with them, but like if you resent anybody, if you have resentments, they know about them and they know how to best use them. So here's some helpful things to think about. Think about the things that you resent, the people you resent, the guilt and the shame that you have with yourself. If you feel guilty about a specific event, that should be something that you go in and work on. This is why it's so important for you to also get help for yourself while dealing with someone that has substance abuse, is because they are using these things against you and you don't even know it. Because you're so focused on you and the way that you feel and all of these things that you're not able to actually even focus on them, because they know how to play those emotions to get you to be clouded in your decision making and your judgments and all of that stuff. This is why it's so important. It doesn't matter if they admit it to themselves or not yet. What I know is that they are using these things against you. And this is why it's really important for you to get help for yourself. It doesn't matter how you do that, but these are the 4 pillars of emotions that you're going to have to really focus in on and take care of. And most of the time, actually all of the time, you can't do that by yourself. You have to have help in clearing out your resentments, in clearing out your guilt, your shame, and all of that fear. You're not going to be able to do this alone. So it's time to start talking about this stuff and figuring out what your next steps are and what you can move. And I can help you with that. So all I want you to do is just schedule a call with me. It's totally free. We can go through all of what it would look like for me to actually help you in dealing with these emotions and how they are playing on these emotions. I can tell you that if you resent either your own parents, or if you resent them, or you resent, your significant other or whatever, I can tell you how they are playing on those emotions to cloud your judgments. So look, the call is free. You have nothing to lose. Go to schedulewithjen.com and just schedule a free call with me, and we can talk more about what does that look like to actually get help for yourself so they can't continue to behave and do the things that they're doing. And this is why you feel so hopeless and like, I don't know what to do here. Well, now you can. Now you have some semblance of control, is by working on those things for yourself so that they cannot use those things against you. So anyway, I hope this was helpful. I hope to be hearing from you soon, because it's better to start sooner rather than later, because this is not an overnight process. You are not going to clear out resentments or anger or fear or your guilt and your shame. This is not an overnight process, but it is a process. It is your journey that, unfortunately, when we have people that we love that are in substance abuse, this is our own work. This is our journey. So anyway, give me a call. I'll be looking forward to hearing from you. Hope you have a great day.